Okay, can anyone tell me the difference between a 2-point perspective and a 1-point perspective?
2-point has 2 vanishing points.
2 vanishing points, correct. And it also needs a... What does a 1-point perspective have along with the vanishing point? Horizon line. Okay, so I'm going to put my horizon line in, and I'm going to put my 2 vanishing points in somewhere. I'm using an A3 sheet for this because it will give me a wider angle. If I use an A4, it's going to be quite an extreme angle,
so is that
and my cube might look a bit too much.
Is this 1 point?
Yeah, so quick example of a 1 point. one vanishing point with a 2D face-on object that we can identify going back to the vanishing point. With a 2-point, it always starts with a line. So there is my line. I'm going to turn that line into a cube, and I'm going to make it more interesting, turn that cube into a Jigglypuff. Now some people say this is quite challenging, but it's not wiggly tough. So, get their attention. Take your line back to the vanishing point on both sides. I'm prepared to go there. Oh dear. Right, take your line back to your vanishing point on both sides. Now, just as we did with the perspective cubes, what was the golden rule on putting the depth in? What was the golden rule on putting the depth in?
Don't include bad jokes.
Yeah, there's a bit of a trick question because there wasn't one. So if it looks right, it's right. So it's a bit of guesswork where to put the depth in. So the key thing is what? What must my line be? If this is a cube, it's got to be straight. It's got to be beginning with P?
Parallel.
Parallel. So I've got to get my parallel line in. I'm going from that one. So it looks like a cube.
Would it not be the same distance?
Right, now this is where it gets a bit complicated. That needs to go across there, and that needs to go across to that one. So you're taking those features back to the vanishing point to close the shape and make it into a cube. All right. If I was to attempt a full-bodied character like this, I have tried it, and it's far too complex, and we haven't got the time. So we are going to stick with just a basic cube, and you can turn that cube into a character. So I'm going to go back to my vanishing point, just as you've done with the 1 point. That will give me an idea of what size the eyes should be, because they will get smaller as they go into perspective. And the mouth. I've forgotten what the mouth of a Jigglypuff looks like.
Jigglypuff.
Just a smiley face, something like that. And it's got some feet on, like that. And it's got a bit of a curl in its hair, like that. Alright, so I could fine line that now and add some shading. But I'm going to leave that there. So for those people who finished the 1 point perspective, straight onto the 2 point. And I will put this video on the shared so you can follow it if you need to.